I've been creating content on TikTok, and then one day this guy texted me off of TikTok and he said he wanted to create a visual identity for his brand. That includes the logo, right down to everything. Let's go through the process of designing the visual identity and everything for Mboko Fit. The first thing to do was that I sent him a questionnaire. Now this questionnaire will have all the answers which we will need to be able to identify what the business is and how best we can help them. This business is mainly focused around an acquisition and usage-free app whose aim is to serve as guidance and coach for gym or sports newbies or gym rats. So the product is focused on the provision of fitness programs composed of well-defined and structured exercises to help users to have a roadmap to hitting their objectives. Nevertheless, they are placing their marketing strategy around merchandising from traction. Who is their ideal audience or customer? The ideal audience and customer will be the men and the women within the age group of 24 to 35, which they estimate being the most eager to stick to the concept and eventually take action. What are your audience's frustrations or problems? Most are trying to overcome the obesity forecasted feed. So many engage into sports to try to free themselves from that feed. Well, how is the business run? Everything is handled at the app level, from order to delivery. What are the brand values? Hard work, resilience, and consistency. What words will you choose to describe your desired vibe and look? Bold, African, and modern. Are you envious of any business branding? If so, what makes it so special? Gymshark mainly. After getting the questionnaire, I had to hop on a call with the client and I had to find out some certain things because some places were kind of vague, like the Gymshark part. I got on a call with him and he really spoke about the Gymshark interface and everything about it, because apparently Gymshark is a competitor or somebody in his industry or his space which he really admires their business and their branding. We spoke about how we could do something which will be similar to Gymshark but will be unique to this business and to its own specific values. The next thing to do after the call will be to create a creative direction document. Within this document, I will now have to present to the client everything which I've learned about the business and exactly how I will move forward with the design part of it. And the next thing within the creative direction document will be to present mood boards. Now these mood boards, they will directly and visually show and explain the particular directions which the brand's visuals could go through. So I presented two mood boards, with one having a brighter and yellowish vibe, minimalistic, simple, and with the use of sans serif fonts. Also within the first mood board, I mentioned that lions will be used as the primary figure to create the logo. Now with the second mood board, I went with something which will be bolder in all aspects. For example, the fonts that will be used here will be bolder and bigger typefaces. The colors, you have bright reds and you have a minimalistic tone as well, which will match to it to bring out some sort of simplicity. And then for the logo, to do something similar to Gymshark, we will now create using, because gorillas signify overall physique. After presenting these two mood boards to the client, we got on another call again, and within this call, he said he liked the both mood boards, but he would like to combine the two. So what we did was we created a third mood board, and with this third mood board, we used every element of mood board 2 except the fact that a gorilla will be used for the logo. We replace the gorilla with a lion from mood board 1. But after agreeing on the mood board which we will use for the design, the next thing to do will be now to bring my ideas to life. Now this can be through sketching, and I will try to bring out the ideas of the lion. So I will sketch multiple variations, and out of these variations I will now find the best 3 or the best 4 which I can now refine and see how good they look when they are as clean or in their best possible form. So from the sketches, I want something which will feel like a lion, which will feel powerful, and which will have some sort of modern vibe to it. Now the first logo which I will refine, it has come out, but it still looks rugged, and when I clean it up, it just looks funny. Or we'll just scratch that and I will move on to the next option. Now this one, it looks too modern and it does not really have a personality per se, and it does not really give off the vibe which the brand is going for. Now for the third option of the logo mark, it is what I want, but I still feel like there's something lacking from it, because as you can see, it is very clean and it shows the lion very perfectly, and it's also a bicep within it to show strength and to show gym fitness and working out. Now this logo mark, it kind of looks very good and almost what I want, but I will keep refining to see what I can come up with. Now the next option of the logo, which is the fourth one, now it is very similar to the third one, but now for the mouth, I wanted it to have a different vibe, but it did not really come out as good as I planned it. Out of these 4 logo marks, they are really good, but they are not really clicking for me, and I will present just one idea to the client, or how to now find the best possible logo mark which will work perfectly and will align well with the brand's values. So I will scratch all of that and I'll have to start afresh. Let's design this clean lion logo mark. Now when the logo mark is done and it is complete, you really see it within a minimal space. You find a lion's head, and the lines are so few, so sleek, so modern, and it really aligns well with the brand's personality, and this is exactly what I want the brand to go for. The next thing to do will be to pick the exact brand typography and fonts. For this brand, I want it to really have that bold feeling, just like we agreed in the mood board. I'll pick a really bold font, and also pick a sans serif font which can be used for body text and for explanatory copy. We'll also add a beautiful serif font. Now this font now is meant for one purpose. It's just meant to add some flair, to add some beauty, and to add some style, and it can be used within marketing materials and ads. The next thing to do will be to pick the exact colors which should be used for the brand. Now based on what we agreed on within the mood board phase, we'll have to use dark colors, and then we'll pair it with a bright red color. So for this bright red color, we'll pick out this specific shade of red, crimson red. Now it is very vibrant, very bold, and it really brings out that vibe which we want the brand to portray, because when matched with the darker colors, with black, it really gives off an edgy, modern brand, which is what the brand wants to go for. The logo mark which we design can also be used as a pattern or some sort of illustration, because it has really good sleek lines which can be expanded or can be used individually, the lines within the logo mark, to form a pattern or background element. Now when I was done with the designing part of it and bringing everything together, I had to now present it to the client for him to be able to understand my vision, understand the design, the reasons behind every decision made during the process. I'll present this within a brand presentation document. This document is very in-depth and it gives every explanation which you may need about the visual identity which has been designed. And after going through it all, he had just one thing to say, that he was very impressed and he would love to work on more projects with me. So it was a very productive process because we had 0 revisions for this particular brand. Now, to complete the project and to really offboard him, the thing to do will be to present a brand guideline sheet. Now, this brand guideline sheet, it shows the visual identity of the business and exactly how to use it in a quick look-through format, which means that it's just a single page which can be easily accessible and very quickly read through. Another thing which will also present during this offboard stage will be a goodbye packet. Now this goodbye packet, it just summarizes the entire project and what we were able to do within the project, gives a little thank you note, because every project is very meaningful both to me and both to the brand. And also I like to give my clients some sort of deal if they send if they send me any referrals or if they come for any future projects. And then the last thing to do, which is the final thing, will be now to present the files which the client can now access in all the various formats, which range from PNG, SVG to PDF. So the client can always use them for whatever case he may need, whether it's for the app, whether it's for stationery, whether it's for the website, whether it's for packaging, whether it's for anything. The visual identity is readily accessible for him to be able to use it. And voila. So if you've enjoyed this video and you would like to see more brand identity breakdowns and the process within which we design brands, just subscribe and watch some of our other videos because they are already there available for you to enjoy. Et voila.